Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of That's So Matthew. Today, I am so excited to have a very special guest here with me on the podcast. One of my very good friends on the podcast for the first time. So, Maggie, introduce yourself and what we'll be talking about.
Hi, I'm Maggie. I'm Matthew's friend from school and theater, and we're going to be talking about Into the Woods today.
Yes, I am so excited because I have found my Into the Woods bestie because no one appreciates this movie that I know.
That's what I'm talking about. I feel like it's so underrated, especially because the cast has so many popular actors and actresses, but nobody talks about it.
No, literally, I have been obsessed with this movie since it came out. I saw it in theaters with my parents, and my parents did not even like it.
Really? Why?
They said it was too long.
Well, they're dumb. It's a musical. It's supposed to be long. And I feel like it's entertaining. There's enough going on that it doesn't feel as long as it is. Do you know what I mean?
I totally agree with you. And I had my whole Into the Woods phase. And since we discussed this episode happening, I've re-entered my Into the Woods phase.
Me too. I watched it recently because I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of one of my comfort movies. Because I'll be sad and I'll be like, you know what song I want to hear? Agony. Do I want to hear Chris Pine screaming agony at me? Yes, I do. So I just watch it and I feel instantly better.
I love that so much for you, Maggie.
I know. I'm not gonna lie. The first time I heard of it, now, okay, I don't know if you knew this, but Netflix used to do the thing where they send CDs in the mail for you to watch movies.
Yes.
I used to have that. And I remember I got what I thought was this movie on the CD, but it turned out to be a recording of a play. And it was just very disappointing. It was like really old play. And I was so sad. And so I actually didn't get to watch this until a couple years later when I got Disney Plus, I think. And so I was deprived for a very long time of the true Into the Woods experience.
Did you get a recording of the OG Broadway musical or something?
The OG, yes. And I remember I was watching it with Allie, my little sibling, and I was just like, what the heck is going on? What is this? Because it was this kind of crusty set, and the giant was there, but it was just in the background. I don't know. I was just confused, and I was very young, and it was not a good time. But the movie really fixed up my perception of it.
Well, I am so glad because we are gonna talk about it and all that. And yes, I love Into the Woods, so very excited to be here with Maggie today. And we're also theater besties, so obviously we have to talk about a musical.
Of course.
So basically, for anyone who has not seen Into the Woods, it's a very interesting plot of a bunch of different fairy tale characters, where they have this couple who are trying to end a curse that was placed on them by this witch so that they can have a child. It's pretty interesting. On the surface, that sounds really vague, but we'll definitely get into it. But it is so weird because we've got Cinderella, Rapunzel, Little Red Riding Hood, Jack and the Beanstalk all in one story with this witch. And then you have the baker and the baker's wife.
Yep. I remember that's what really drew me to it. I was obsessed with fairy tales. So to have this giant combination of all these different ones, it's super cool how they did it. And it's so fun because it has elements from all these different stories and it all comes together in a really cool way.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. My personal draw to this movie was the fairy tales. It wasn't the musical because this was before I was really in my musical theater phase. So it was literally just the fact that it was Disney and that there were so many amazing fairy tales in this. Personally, my personal favorite of this is Rapunzel. I don't know why. When I first watched this movie and even to this day, I just love Rapunzel.
I agree. I think Tangled is really what makes me love Rapunzel as much as I do. Specifically in Into the Woods, though, I think my favorite storyline kind of fairy tale storyline. I really liked, I think, the baker and his wife, but then also Cinderella. Because I felt how they approached the Cinderella story, how she ran away 3 nights in a row instead of she wasn't sure if she wanted to marry him. I liked how they did that. And I was Anna Kendrick, I don't know why I'm calling her that, but I love her. Or Cinderella, her whole ballad on the stairs when she doesn't know what she wants to do. That.
Oh, literally so good. Love that. Yeah, totally relate with like all that. And something about this movie, like, too, is that like Meryl Streep, James Corden,
Mhm.
Emily Blunt, Anna Kendrick, all of these people, Johnny Depp in like one single freaking movie.
I know. And like James Corden's in there. Like I'm just like, wow, there's so many people. And then okay, you know the girl who plays the one of the stepsisters?
Yes.
She literally plays a step. I think this is the third time she's played a evil stepsister. Like I think she was in Ella Enchanted and then some other thing. I can't
Yeah, no,
remember, but
she literally has. And I love
it's so
that for her.
funny.
Like, she's getting that stepsister bag.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a little bit of a typecast, but like she plays her so well, so like why not?
No, totally. I love that movie so much. Um, so honestly, let's get into our first character, which is obviously the witch, the villain of this
Hmm.
movie. Meryl Streep does so like well in this movie. Like, I did not know that she was a singer.
I didn't either. I had no idea, but she killed it.
She really did. And I also really like the way that like she goes from like this evil, like scary witch to like the
Mhm.
elegant like lady halfway through the movie.
Literally, she's such a MILF. Like, oh, sorry. I don't know if that's appropriate for
No, you
the
can
podcast, but
definitely
like,
you
no,
can
she
say
is a
that.
MILF. Like, I was like, God damn.
It is no,
Yeah,
it's
do
so
it.
random. Like it's so unexpected too, but like she looks so good.
The hair, I love the hair. And her whole outfit, honestly, the whole vibe.
It's like top notch. And the one thing I don't like about her is like we don't really like like why she cares so much about her garden. Like she just cares like
Hmm.
so much. And like every time she tells like the story about the beans, it's just like kind of weird, low key.
A little bit. She's like, um, lettuce and rutabaga and blah, blah, blah. When she was singing that song, every time I'm in the grocery store, I always think of that. But yeah, she's like really obsessed with her vegetables. I think it maybe comes from her mom. Like she talked about how like her mom like told her about the beans or something, I think. I think that what it
Yeah,
was. So it must come from that.
basically, and then she casts a spell on them because she like is very sad that they stole her beans.
Hmm.
So basically, if they collect the items, she gets to be like pretty again, and they get to have a child.
Hmm.
So it's kind of a win-win situation, if you ask
No,
me.
yeah. It's really like what's bad about it? I mean, besides like what ended up happening because of all that, but like
Yeah. Basically, she like in the end, she basically, I believe, is dead,
I
right?
think so. Yeah, she died. I'm pretty. Sometimes it's a little confusing at the end. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I think they don't officially say that she's dead, but I'm assume it's
Hmm.
like presumed that she's dead.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I felt kind of sad, like low key, because I love Meryl Streep and she did a great job with this
I know.
character. I also love the like the whole thing where she's like everyone like kind of is working with her and then in the end they all just turn on her
Yeah,
and
that's kind of fake of them.
I
Like,
I kind of loved it.
yeah, like she was just trying to do like what she had to do. Like, because they were all defending Jack, right? Because
Yeah.
the giant was after him.
I
Yeah.
kind of see her. I kind of see the side. Like I will like be
I
neutral.
see her point because like ultimately she would be saving more people if they just gave him Jack because the giant was really killing everybody.
Yeah, no, once we get to Jack, I have so many thoughts about Jack
I
because
me too. Yep.
he's definitely a character that is a little interesting. But let's get to into one of my favorite characters, which is the baker's wife, played by Emily
Mm.
Blunt.
Mm-hmm.
Chef's kiss. Emily
Love
Blunt
her.
is amazing, like to begin with.
Oh
Like
yeah.
Mary Poppins Returns is such a good movie just because of her. And like not even Lin-Manuel Miranda is like
Yeah,
carrying that
like what does
movie
he
as
even
much as she
do?
is. No, she is so good in this movie. Like this was like the movie that like I became obsessed with Emily Blunt because let's
Hmm.
see, I was 8 years ago. I was like 9 years old. So like I was like not into like Emily Blunt movies. This movie got me obsessed. The Baker's Wife is such a complex character.
Oh yeah, I think she is probably the most, if not the most, at least one of the most complex characters in the whole movie.
I will
Yes.
even
Yeah.
go as far to say as that I am a Baker's Wife stan.
I would agree. The only thing I did not enjoy was her whole like romance thing with the prince, like cheating on her husband a little bit.
I agree. I
Like,
did not vibe
I
with
was
that, but
like,
like
girl,
you
what are you
gotta do
doing?
what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do.
I mean, I understand it, but like you just went through like all of this getting all these things just so you could have a baby. You have a baby, and then you kind of just want to go fling around with the prince. I mean, trust me, he's hot. I understand. He's beautiful and he sings. I mean, come on, what's not to love? But like your husband is out there, there's a giant around, you have a baby, like girl, what are you doing?
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. I definitely think that it was a questionable choice, but I think I am willing to look past it because I love the Baker's Wife so much.
I agree. I agree. I'm like, okay. I mean, also she did die like right after. So I guess karma. But
Yeah,
you know.
essentially, yes. So she kind of like got what was coming. But yeah, I love the Baker's Wife so much. I literally, besides what we just talked about, I have nothing bad to say about her. Like, I think it's so like such a complex like thing. Like, just wants to have this child and goes through all this trouble.
Mm-hmm. I also love how like her husband was like, you should stay at home, do all this, but then here she is like sneaking around in the wood, like doing most of the work. Like he can't even remember the words to the rhyme or whatever to get the stuff. And she's like, the cloak is red as blood. Da, 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 da. She's got it. She's got it down. She's getting all of
No,
her
she's
stuff.
such a queen. And you know, I will not be taking any other questions, comments, or concerns.
I agree.
Baker's Wife. Now the baker is where I think I have some issues with the Baker's Wife.
Uh-huh.
I don't really like him.
He's okay. He's nice.
Yeah, he's nice. Don't get me
He's
wrong.
nice.
He's nice. He's just so like boring and like plain.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like he's cool. I would say he's like a very like genuine person and he cares a lot. And I like that. I appreciate that about him. He's a little stupid,
Just a little bit.
like a little bit. Nothing wrong with that, but like you know, I think he's really loyal and he lacks the kind of he like edge that he needs to really like get stuff. Like when he was trying to take the cloak from Little Red Riding Hood
Oh
and he
yeah.
gave it back to her after he got it, I was like, what are you doing? Like, come on now. Pull it
He's
together,
just
man.
very like I think he's just very unsure of like everything.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's
it's
a bit of a
also
whip.
James Corden.
Yeah.
I have a love-hate relationship with James, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think in this movie he was fine.
I agree.
But the other ones, the other musical movies, like what is he doing there?
I don't really. What other musical roles has he played? Like, I was he in Cats? Oh my god.
Yes, he was.
Oh my god. Of course he was. Okay, that makes sense.
Of course he
I've never
was.
seen that movie, but I don't think I ever want to.
And then there was
Yeah.
he was in the Prom movie on Netflix. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Oh, I think I have.
It's a great movie, minus James Corden. Well, actually, a lot of people hate on him in that movie, but I love him in that movie. He was in the Cinderella remake on Amazon.
I heard that was questionable. I have not seen it.
I have not seen as well, but yeah, those are like the all of them, which is just surprising that he just like keeps showing up. I also heard he's supposed to be in the Wicked movie.
Oh, that would be interesting. I don't know. Okay, like I understand you want like a star-studded cast to kind of draw people in, but there's certain people that I don't really know. Like he's a talk show host. He's not really an actor or a singer. I mean, like he is, but I don't know. Like I don't really get the point of just throwing him in there.
No,
Yeah.
I agree, but like in this movie, he's okay. It's just the character that
I
I have a
agree.
problem with. He's just he like you said, he's just a wimp. He basically
Mhm.
is just willing to do whatever, even if it's incorrect and could kill them because the witch is like insane.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely needs to grow some balls.
Yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with you on that. Like
His wife wears the pants in the relationship, I would say.
the baker's wife is like I said, just I wish we got like an actual name for her and she
I
wasn't just called the
know.
baker's wife.
Well, at first I was like confused. I was like, wait a second, like what are their names? I looked up and I was like, oh, they don't have names. Okay.
They don't have names. No, and I think that's like part of the complexity of like them not being like as cool as the rest of the characters, but like in my
Mhm.
opinion, they're even almost more cool.
Yeah, I would say I feel well, they're kind of like they're not like the I feel like they're the main plot line Because like if you think about it, like they're the connectors kind of between all the other ones going on. Like why is Rapunzel involved? Because they need the hair as yellow as corn. Why is Red Riding Hood involved? You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like in that way they're kind of like the main focus, and the witch too, like because she
Yeah,
needs all that stuff.
totally. But yeah, love both of them very much. So even if he's stupid. But this next one, Cinderella. Cinderella is amazing. Anna
I love
Kendrick
her.
knocked
I
it
love
out of
her.
the park. Knocked it
No,
out of the
she
park.
always does. When has she not knocked it out of the park?
No,
Let's be honest.
you're literally not even wrong, because I recorded my Twilight episode, the for the first Twilight yesterday, and she's in the first Twilight, and she even knocked out of the park, and she is like a tiny little part in that movie.
Exactly. Like she can do no wrong in my eyes. And Pitch Perfect, like that is one of my favorite movies ever. Like I love her. I adore her. She's so funny.
In this movie too, like the on the steps of the palace scene is like the best scene.
Yup. Like she just adds such a complexity to Cinderella that we really haven't, I feel like I haven't seen as much before. Like, well, I mean, there's a lot of Cinderella retellings, but I really liked hers. I felt like it was really different from some of the other ones they've done. Do you know what I mean? Like she's just kind of questioning, like, oh, like, do I really want to be with the prince? Like, what do I want out of life? Because it's definitely better than the original Disney Cinderella, because I felt like she was always a little just kind of boring. But I feel like Anna Kendrick really adds some spice. And I also kind of like her dress is gold. Like I know it's not regular, but I'm kind of into it.
No, I am into it. As like the costume crew for the musical, I think we can both agree that we're into it.
I loved all the costumes in this.
No, they're all like all great.
They're super
even
cute.
if they're supposed to look horrible.
Yeah. I think my favorite outfit, it might have been, I actually really like Little Red Riding Hoods. Like I thought it was really cute.
Yeah, Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah.
Or Cinderella.
Yeah. Hers was pretty. I liked the gold, but sometimes I felt like it was a little bit like not trash baggy, but a little trash baggy.
Okay. Fair enough. I understand.
Too metallic for me. But it looked really good on her, of course.
Anything will look good on Anna Kendrick. Like Cinderella's prince is an interesting character, Chris Pine.
Love him.
I love him too. I also love that they don't really give him a name. It's just Cinderella's prince.
Yeah. Or is it Prince Charming, or is it just Cinderella's prince?
I believe it's just Cinderella's prince.
Oh, I love that for her.
I think they like describe him as charming, because I feel like there's a line that I can remember where it's like he says, I was raised to be charming, not sincere, but they just call him Cinderella's prince, which is like obviously iconic.
As it should be just Cinderella's prince, because it's her prince. He has no other identity. Just
exactly. They dance in this movie as well. We have the whole like slipper thing. However, Cinderella keeps running away from him, so he's like really like getting mixed signals and has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, she definitely, it's a little confusing for him, but he doesn't give up, which I give him credit for that. Like he's trying his best.
Like I also just love the like whole idea of like all of these characters being together, like the two princes together.
I love that. Their dynamic is so cute. Especially Agony.
Agony is such a great scene. Like
I love it.
To be fair, if I were to ever be in Into the Woods, I would have such a trouble like deciding if I really wanted to go for one of the princes or the baker.
Yeah, I think you'd be a really good baker, and I feel like you can maybe make him a little less wimpy, honestly.
Oh yeah, totally. My big strong personality.
But yeah, Agony would also be like, that'd be so fun for you to sing. Like
I know. I will not argue with that. The next two characters are like my least favorite of this whole movie, and that is Jack's mother and Jack, because they're so weird. They're so boring. Jack is literally just so annoying to me. Like I can't explain why.
It's the vibe. Like if you think about it, like he's actually pretty cool. Like he cares about his cow. He's just trying to get stuff for his mother for them to be like happy. He's like freaking sneaking around past giants. Like that's pretty cool. But he's just kind of annoying. I don't know. I don't know why.
like I don't know if it's like an artistic choice of the actor or if he's just written to be annoying.
I'm not sure, but like there's nothing like I can think of off the top of my head that I'm like, oh, like that annoyed me. Like he's actually pretty smart too. Like he's the one who came up with like from the corn, you
Yeah.
can get the yellow hair or whatever. But like, I don't know. He's okay. But it's also like I didn't really understand like all these people are like defending him so much because the giant just wants him. Like I don't know if in that situation, this kid's kind of annoying. Like, would I really defend him that much? Even though it could mean like my whole home gets destroyed. I don't think I would. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And his mother is just like annoying too.
Yeah, she puts a lot of pressure on him. I mean, I can understand it because like they're obviously poor and she's struggling and she's just trying to provide for him. But I don't know. I feel like she just keeps wanting more and more and more.
Yeah,
and
she's like never satisfied with him at all.
Yeah, well, that's why. Isn't that why Jack went back up the beanstalk? Was kind of because of her.
I definitely think so.
Yeah. So whose fault is it really that the giant came down and killed so many people?
It's definitely hers.
Wait, I can't remember. Did she die?
I don't know.
I think she just kind of like disappeared at the end.
Which is fine. Fine by me.
I don't really care. I didn't care enough to figure it out.
Same. Like okay, here's a confession. I forgot my headphones at home and I finished this movie in school just by watching the captions.
Oh no. I mean, as long as you had watched the scenes with like the good, really good songs.
No, I already have like seen this a million times. So like
yeah,
I know
so you're
it,
just like a refresher.
but I always like need to refresh before the podcast, otherwise I'm gonna be like completely lost.
That's completely valid, honestly.
Yeah. Next character is the wolf and Little Red Riding Hood. The wolf, Johnny Depp, amazing, excellent, perfect casting.
Love him. He's just so creepy, and like the way he like transforms with every single role, like you know it's him, but like it's like so cool. He always looks so different in everything.
He always just like continuously like raises the bar in his performance. Oh, yeah. Like the wolf is, when I first watched this, like besides Rapunzel, was like my favorite character.
I agree. He was really cool. He was like just the right amount of creepy. Like
yeah,
but I kind of liked it.
Like yeah. I kind of like it too. It's just like the song that he sings really creeps me out. I will not.
Me too. Something about that scene, I'm just like, ugh. Gives me the heebie-jeebies.
The baker like comes by to like kill the wolf at one point, and then we have that whole scene. It's just like really weird, but like he is so like creepy, but like it's perfect.
Yeah, I think it needed a little bit of creepy because we had like some of the scary stuff, but like I don't know. He definitely reminded me of very pedophile-y. I think that's why it creeps me out so much.
That's exactly what Sarah had said when we were watching this together yesterday. She's like, he's just like a pedophile.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure like the tale of Red Riding Hood might actually be like a metaphor type thing for pedophiles. I don't know if that's for sure or not.
Yeah, but neither do I, but like I kind of think that that's like definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it because like you want to eat like a child.
It's really weird. Little Red is like one of my all-time favorite characters as well. She's such an icon in this movie.
I love her. Her and her grandma, like that girl, like turning the wolf into a new coat for Red. I was like, period, grandma, into it.
Literally. She steals like sweets from the baker and the baker's wife early on, kind of leading into the story. But she's basically like so sweet. Like she's kind of feisty. She's definitely got a little bit of like a feist to her.
Oh yeah.
I love it though. Like she's so good in this movie. Like everyone in this movie is just so good.
Yeah, I also have to say I like her. I think I like her part in Into the Woods song the best.
Oh, me too. It's
and
so
I think she sounds probably one of the best in it. I like it. That's the one that gets stuck in my head the most. Like so much all the time.
I love that. No, I really want to be in Into the Woods now.
I know, really. You guys should do it for the musical next year.
I might just have to. I don't know if we have enough guys, but we'll make it work.
Honestly, you'd be fine because you could be. I mean, you'd probably be the baker.
Oh, I would love to be the baker.
And he also has the most lines. Like the prince would be fun, but like you'd be able to carry the show.
Oh, okay. I see how it is, Maggie. Rapunzel. We haven't even talked about Rapunzel yet. So good.
I
She's so
honestly,
pretty.
oh, she's gorgeous. She's beautiful. And but I'm not gonna be honest, like I know she's your favorite, but she doesn't like stand out to me as much as the others do. Like she stands up to the witch, right? And she like wants to be with her prince. I
Yeah,
like that part. I feel like they're the sweetest couple.
they
Um,
definitely are.
well, yeah, because he like gets blinded or whatever. Like that's pretty rough, but they're still
The
like
hair cutting
going
scene
strong.
where the baker's wife like rips her hair off is so like funny.
I know it is. I feel so bad for Rapunzel though. Like she can't catch a break.
She literally can't. It's kind of sad, but like honestly, low key, I'm not even sure if she's my favorite after this rewatch. She was for so many years, but like I think I've just
Mhm.
matured past it.
Yeah. Do you think you just like kind of like a little bit of a crush on her?
Yeah,
She is really
probably.
pretty.
I probably was
Yeah,
just
that's
like
valid.
she's
That's
very
valid.
hot and like I was just definitely into her. Oops.
Me with Cinderella's prince.
I mean,
I was
it's
like, he's
not
my
a bad
favorite.
thing. Like in Rapunzel's prince in this movie, he's so like over the top. Like I love it.
Yeah, and he's cute. I think honestly everybody's over the top in this movie. But I'm really about it. I'm really into it.
Yeah, it also at the end when they just ride off into the distance on the horse, like
That's cute. I kind of like it's yeah, I like the end. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like when I first watched it, I was like, what the heck is this? Like, why did all these people have to die? Like this sucks. Like, why couldn't we have ended it when everyone's happy? Like I was mad about that. But then at the end, I'm like, okay, well, it's kind of this like ragtag team at the end, and they all like really like each other and support each other. I think that's really sweet, actually.
no, it is like it's a sweet like message. Like I love it so much.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's sad that they died, obviously. But, I kind of liked it because it also was different than all the other fairy tales. Like, it's like happily ever after. And like in a way, this one was technically still happily ever after, but it was more like bittersweet. And I feel like it's way more of an interesting ending than just if like everyone's like thriving and nobody died.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I just think it's like heartbreaking enough for it
Yeah.
to like be
Yeah.
good.
But I can see where like I know like my mom and sister hate Into the Woods just because they hate the ending so much, which
Oh
I can understand it
no, that's so
a
sad.
little bit,
That's
but
so
like
sad.
I know, so I just have to watch it by myself.
Oh, it's okay. Well, we can watch it together. We can just be like have our
Perfect.
own little party
Have a
without
little,
that.
yeah, a little watch party. I'm into that.
Yeah, pretty much. There's some other characters like we have like the giant. Like there's nothing really to talk about besides the fact that the giant just like is there to kill everyone.
Yeah, it's kind of boring. I kind of wish they had included some scenes of Jack like up in the giant world, just because I feel like those would have been pretty fun to watch. I can't remember, like I feel like there was another movie, like a Jack and the Beanstalk movie that showed stuff like that, but I don't know what it is. And I don't know
Yeah,
if I'm just imagining it.
no, you're definitely not. Like I wonder like I'm getting almost Once Upon a Time vibes if you ever watched that show.
Oh, you're right. I bet that was it. Or something. I don't know. I'll also do some research later on,
Yeah,
see if I can
do your
remember.
research. Yeah, I can't think of anything right now, but like I'm sure that it was done.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if they had included those scenes though, it'd be like a 4-hour movie. So
Yeah.
maybe then they would be pushing it a little bit.
Yeah, totally. And also like we have like the stepsisters who, as much as I love them, literally didn't add that much besides like some comedy and the fact that that one girl has played stepsister and like everything.
Yeah, they were fun. I mean, I knew they had to be there just because like you can't have Cinderella without her stepsisters, really.
Yeah. And I also
Yeah.
love how they're like in this movie they're Lucinda and Florinda.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, I
Isn't it, it's
didn't know that.
normally like Anastasia and what?
Drizella.
Drizella. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm a stepsister stan. I have like a bunch of pictures of me with them when I went to Disney World.
Oh my God,
It's
that's so fun.
I'll have to post them on the podcast Instagram for everyone to like see them because I'm a
You
stepsister stan.
should.
I'm a stan of literally everyone. Like, I'm sorry. I just
That's valid though, because like you can see all like the fun and good qualities in different characters.
yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
So now we talk about like the plot, and obviously there is so much to cover that we're not going to be like breaking down every single
Yeah.
thing, guys, because we'd be here for like 5 hours.
Yeah,
Because knowing me and
definitely.
Maggie, we would like literally pick it apart to shreds.
Honestly, we would.
So we're just going to like do very like general sense, like if there's like anything that comes up that we really want to talk about. I have a couple different like scenes in mind that we can definitely like break down, but guys, this movie is like 2 hours long. Like we're saving your ears.
Yeah, it's really long. It's so entertaining though.
No, it literally is. Like I was so entertained. Like I was doing my test corrections and watching Into the Woods during my enrichment period. So like you guys know that it was a good day.
Oh yeah.
So obviously, like we said from the beginning, we have the baker and the wife who want to have a child, but they are under a curse by this witch who is like basically like upset because the baker's father like robbed her garden. So that's literally like the whole problem. And she like talks about this garden like nonstop.
Yeah, she's really in love with her garden for sure.
And so they punished her. Well, she got punished with this like curse of like ugliness or whatever, I guess you could say.
I think it was put there by her mom or something because her mom warned her to never let anyone take the beans.
Yeah. And so she thinks she's like ugly. She still looks actually pretty good.
Honestly, she does. Like she just needed a different hairdo to kind of have fix her posture a little bit.
Yeah, no, she literally did not look that bad, but like I digress. So the witch is like, I will lift this curse if you get these 4 items.
Yeah, it was what was hair as yellow as corn, cloak as red as blood, slipper as gold as something. And
I think
then
it says
cow
pure
as
as
white,
gold.
pure as gold. That's what it is. And then cow as white as milk.
Wow, we're so
Got
good.
it. Call me the baker's wife.
Yeah, like it's totally not like I wrote down notes for this.
Yeah.
And so basically she's not allowed to touch any of these objects. So if the baker does it, like it's okay. Essentially, it's like the whole thing. I would definitely say that like the way that they explore all of these is super interesting because we're introduced to the almost all of these characters in like the first song Into the Woods, which is like the
Yeah.
best song.
Yeah.
Obviously close with Agony because like we can't forget about Agony. And so we like each will get like a peek into each of them grabbing each of these items. So first up, we pretty much go into Jack's story, which Jack is, we have the cow Milky White, which is so uncomfortable for me to say every time.
I know. I really don't like the name.
It's funny, don't get me wrong, but like it's awkward.
Well, I just hate like the word milky. Like it just I don't like it.
Yeah, definitely is giving like Loodle word of the day.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, did you see the update that they did to Loodle?
The 6 word thing?
No, it's like they like changed the like design of the website and I absolutely hate it.
Oh no, I have to check after.
Yeah, please do. I literally want to cry because I just don't like it. It's like it's not bad. It's just like it looks like really weird. But I digress. This is so off topic. But like you guys know, I love my Wordle. So like and the Talurtle and the Loodle. So like I have to
literally all the versions of Wordle.
No, literally, like they keep me so entertained. Like I love it so much. And so then we have the whole thing with the beans were stolen and then they grow the large beanstalk thing and it's so like weird with the beanstalk because it's like just we know the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, but it's like a little different, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's I think like well the reason the beans went on the ground it was because wait now oh my gosh I should have taken notes. Let me think. Originally Jack just planted them and then he climbed the beanstalk and then went up there. But he got the beans, he traded them for the cow, which was obviously shows him he's a little dumb.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know there was gonna be a whole giant thing up there. You know, like so he's just randomly giving this cow to this random lady. But yeah, I think it was the baker's wife who made that trade. She's very smart. Even though the baker, he was like, I don't think we should do this. Like he needs to get his moral compass put away.
Exactly. Like, stop being such a wimp. So then Jack's mom like sends him out to like sell the cow. Like we already talked about this, but it's like she's like so worried about like getting rid of this cow that like that's like the whole point of Jack's storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Then we kind of skip over to Cinderella, and Cinderella is trying to go to this festival, but she's told by her stepmother that like she is like too dirty and like she basically is like not gonna have any chance with the prince.
Mm-hmm.
But yet her and her daughters go to this festival, like so fake. Like, how can they even?
I know. So mean. Well, don't they? She's like, oh, Cinderella, you can go if you do all these chores. And like one of them is like picking all the lentils out of the fire.
Yeah, which is
But
gonna take
Cinderella is
forever.
resourceful and she gets the birds to do it for her.
Like
Yeah.
as she should. Like,
like that's what I would do if I could sing to birds. Like they better be doing all my
No,
chores.
you do give off Disney princess vibes though in that peasant dress.
I'm not gonna lie. Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I used to feed chipmunks like out of my bare hand in the backyard. Like they'd sit in my hand and eat birdseed out of my hand. So maybe I am a Disney princess.
I think you definitely are, Maggie.
I sure hope so. I'm gonna be going to Disney World.
Oh my god, I love that so much. So from here we go into the Little Red Riding Hood scene, which is so weird, so like weird, so creepy, but like I love it at the same time.
Yes, I'm like into it, but it's like creepy. Like, please stop.
But Red gets to her grandmother's house, but then she ate all the treats and stuff already.
Because of course, I would too. It's a long walk. Like, I'd be hungry.
Yeah. And that's like the weird scene. Then we meet Rapunzel and the prince, and she's stuck in the tower and she's like singing this song, and it's like adorable, and like love Rapunzel, stan her. And so the baker sees Little Red Riding Hood, and then the witch like suddenly like comes out of nowhere and it's like, you need to take the cape. And so then they try to get the cape, and then they need to like get Jack and his cow. And it's literally so much extra like work. And then so the baker's wife trades the cow for the beans. It's so like, it's kind of random at this point, but like I also kind of love it.
Yeah, there's like definitely a lot going on, but I feel like it still comes together really well.
Yeah.
And then, well, yeah, they just they mess up a lot. Like first he like takes the cloak, but then he gives it back to the Red Riding Hood because he feels bad. And then there's all that stuff where like she lost the cow for a while.
Oh yeah, how can you keep track of a cow? Like that's
yeah. I was like, girl, how did you even do that? Because I think she lost the cow and she was trying to get the slipper.
Oh yes,
yeah.
I'm so.
And then she got the slipper, but then she didn't have the cow, which is unfortunate.
And then there's also like the whole scene where like the witch goes up to the tower, and it's kind of weird because obviously like the witch is like obsessed with Rapunzel. She's like obsessed with everyone.
She's and she's also like obsessed with herself, but I don't know why she like loves Rapunzel so much. Honestly, not really sure, but like, well, then I remember I was like, oh shoot, that's the hair as yellow as corn, and she touched that. I was like, uh-oh, this is not gonna go well. And then we find out later that could cause some serious problems.
I mean, yeah, the witch is just out to like kill everyone. Cinderella comes home from the ball chased by the prince, and we sing this like whole thing. She sings like the Very Nice Prince. I love that song as well. Like all of them are just so good. It's really good at this point, but like this whole thing, like the cow disappears, and so now they only have like none. And it's like we already said, she literally just keeps like making mistakes like over and over again.
That part's a little annoying. I'm just like, come on now.
Let's hurry this up. Then Jack sings his little song, Giants in the Sky. It's mediocre.
Yeah, it's fine.
And so then the baker and the baker's wife like reunite. They find almost all of the items, but she's like, I lost the cow.
And then don't they like get a different cow and they cover it in flour?
And then the witch is like, this is not as white as what is it like? As white
White as
as,
milk or
yeah,
something. Yeah.
it's so fun. It's honestly just comical at this point.
Hmm.
Um, then we have the baker's wife who literally like cuts the hair of Rapunzel in this next scene off of like a part on the tower. Like that was kind of iconic.
It was funny.
The baker's wife gets Cinderella's shoes, but it's like this whole thing, and it's past like midnight and they only have the cow and the slipper, and there's like only one more day. How are they gonna make it? Like
Hmm.
this is crunch time.
It's very
And
stressful.
so it's kind of crazy from here because the witch banishes Rapunzel into the little swamp.
Oh, I forgot about that part. You're right.
Yeah,
Poor
it's
Rapunzel.
weird. And now Jack comes across Little Red, who's wearing the wolfskin coat. Love that as well. That was a
Very
moment.
hardcore. Go Little Red.
And then the baker tries to go get another cow, and they just need to like get this golden slipper. So literally they're literally just struggling this entire time.
Honestly, it's kind of sad.
And then we go into On the Steps of the Palace.
Love that. I love that
Chef's
scene.
kiss moment. Like I will not deny it. And then the baker's wife really wants her slipper again, and she offers her the last magic bean, and it's just kind of like crazy. And she finally like convinces Cinderella, and she gives her the gold slipper.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have like the whole like Cinderella trying the slipper thing, blah 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 blah. And then the Cinderella's birds peck out the stepsister's eyes.
Yeah, I feel so bad for them. Like, not only have they cut off parts of their feet, but now they're blind. Like, damn.
It's kind of crazy. Skipping ahead a little bit, we kind of just have like this whole thing of like the witch reverses the curse and everything is great. She's young and beautiful. Cinderella marries the
Mhm.
prince. Jack and his mother are like suddenly wealthy. The baker and his wife have a child, and
Everything's happy.
then all of a sudden the earth like shakes and they run into Little Red Riding Hood again, and they help her again. So it's like has like a happy ending, but not really.
Yeah, because a giant comes.
Oh,
He
excuse
kind
me.
of screws some stuff up.
Yeah. And so everything is just kind of not going their way. The witch goes back to the tower that Rapunzel was in. It's literally just a pile of nothing. And the witch sings the song "Children Will Listen." And we're
That's a
like,
pretty, I like that song.
it's pretty good. It's not like my favorite, but like I appreciate it for what it is.
I agree. That's exactly how I feel about it too.
And now they just need to slay the giant, like slay the day, like go you.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, and so it's really boring, honestly, from here. I don't like this ending that much. Cinderella's prince then makes out with the baker's wife. And yeah, it's pretty rough from here. Then the baker's wife is waiting to return. She has all this stuff, and then apparently the baker's wife is dead. And
Yeah, doesn't she like fall off a cliff or something?
yeah, it's really
Yeah,
it's kind of depressing.
it's really sad. I think Jack is the one who finds that she's
Of
dead.
course, poor Jack. I don't like
Yeah,
Jack, but
must
like
be
poor Jack.
traumatized.
He is probably traumatized. Uh, then they all are like, I'm kind of to blame, blah blah blah. And then the baker's like all upset, and then he gives the baby to Cinderella.
I mean, she looks like she would take care of a baby. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like you work so hard like this entire movie for this, and this is what this is what you get. I see. It's basically like a really weird thing. They need to kill the giant, and yeah, it's really it's kind of just like at this point like getting annoying, like the fact that the movie's not over.
Yeah, I will say I do wish it ended a little bit sooner. Like I understand, like it gets a little long in the tooth at the very end when all this stuff is going on. It's like, where's Jack? I don't know. Oh no, he's over there. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. And then the Jack's mom also died. And it's so random. Jack and the baker like also like are supposed to be like parents to the orphans or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird. Uh, and yeah, it's crazy. Um Someone else dies at the end. Who is it?
Is it the prince?
I think it's the prince.
Yeah.
Like
Wait.
literally everyone dies. Literally
Rapunzel
everyone.
and her prince, do they live?
I don't know.
I don't know if they even really get if I don't know if they even get talked about.
Yeah, it's just so crazy. Like everyone literally dies.
Yeah, it's pretty sad, but like I still
Wait,
love
no,
it.
it's also doesn't the giant die because there's the giant and then there's the giantess.
Oh yeah. Well, the giant gets killed. That's why the giantess comes back down, right?
Yeah, but then the giantess dies, I believe, at the end.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly how they kill her.
I don't remember either. I think she just falls and dies.
I think so too. Maybe down the same cliff the baker's wife fell.
Yeah, and so they at the end just kind of sing "Children Will Listen," and they tell the story of Into the Woods, basically.
Yeah, to the sun, right?
Yeah, and then the last line I wrote it down is "Careful the tale you tell, as that is the spell children will listen." So
love that. Beautiful ending.
It is beautiful. It's just like at this point, like I hate the whole like giant ending thing. Like I just want it to be over.
I agree. The giant kind of pissed me off.
Like it just kept going and going and going. Like just
wrap it up.
Wrap it up. But overall, I definitely have to give this movie like probably like a 9 out of 10.
I would say 9 out of 10 too. Yeah. Emotionally, like when I'm like in a place where I really need it, I would say it's a 10 out of 10 because I don't even care about the ending being annoying.
Yeah, no, literally.
But like overall, I would say 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love it. I love all the characters, but it's just like frustrating for me because like it's kind of long, but it's good. And I have so many stand characters. Like, obviously, the baker's wife is my new stand character, and I will be marketing this episode just based off of that fact.
Love that.
But it's honestly just so good, and I like love it so much. So I was so glad that you wanted to talk about it with me, and I feel like I found like my person.
I like was like I didn't know if you would like it. I mean, obviously because it's musical and stuff, but like I was like, yay! I was so excited.
Yeah, I enjoyed it so much, and I'm so glad that we could do it. And you know, it was really fun. So thank you so much.
Of course, thank you.
So thank you everyone so much for listening to this episode of the podcast. You can check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all the places at That's So Matthew, and check out my website at thatsomatthew.com for all the fun stuff on there. And I'll see you all in another episode again soon. Bye.